From the Atlantic to the far Pacific, from the tree line to the pole, live the Eskimos. In spite of the constant struggle against the elements, they are habitual able. The Eskimos of Southampton Island and of Baffin Land, like all Eskimos, are very resourceful, a perfect example of adjustment to the world in which they live. For hunting and fishing, upon which life depends, the Eskimos developed the swift kayak. An Eskimo paddling a kayak can go much faster than 3 men in a canoe. The story goes that once some Eskimos were taken to England with their kayaks and pitted against a racing shell. The shell was outdistanced in no time at all. Fragile as this little craft appears to be, the fearless Eskimos have been known to cross as much as 100 miles of open sea. To an Eskimo boy, no plaything is better than a boat. In the old days, whalebone or driftwood went into the skeletons of the Eskimos' skin boats, but nowadays it is wood from the trader. The youngsters stand by to learn the art. The ribs are laced together with wet strips of sealskin, which tightens as it dries. They are the only people in the world who can make an absolutely watertight boat. In his kayak, the Eskimo fishes and pursues ducks, seal, walrus, porpoise, and even the whale. Its silence and speed make it ideal for hunting. Only the women, with their great skill with the needle, sew the kayak skin covering. Washing and softening the sealskin not only removes the excess fat, but it gives the skin a sort of tanning. Making a kayak is a community job. Everyone lends a hand. Someone in the Baffin Land community is making a kayak every year. The Eskimo women have developed the lock stitch for making absolutely watertight seams. Tubex stitches the skin with thread of split caribou sinews, carefully patching every weak spot. The hunter's life depends on the skill and integrity of the women's work. Making a kayak is a long job. When it's finally launched, it's given a drink of water for good luck in the hunt. In winter, the Eskimo is utterly dependent on his dogs and sledge. Making the dog whip is a man's craft. Braided with strips of sealskin, the finished whip is long and heavy, a terrible weapon that Southampton Islanders use with such skill they can flick the ear of any dog they choose. An Eskimo dog sled can carry upwards of 1,000 pounds. Sledging is always difficult, and the driver needs the threatening crack of the whip to guide and encourage the dogs and keep them in order. Most of the arts and crafts of the Eskimo are part of the serious business of living. Making of the waterproof boots or mucklucks for the family takes a great deal of time. The skin is treated by scraping, a long, tedious job. Preparing the skins for new garments is just a part of an Eskimo woman's job. The family clothes and boots of skin need constant care throughout the year. They must be dried and softened. A woman's work is never done. She has a paper pattern for the boot sole. The ulu, or woman's knife, is used for so many jobs that the tool seems to be almost a part of her arm. Her teeth chew the leather into pliability. Needles are of bone, and the thread, sinews of caribou, is the strongest in the world. Her thimble is of thick sealskin unless she can get a fancy one from the trader. Sewing on a boot sole is a job that demands real artistry. The edges must be carefully crimped over the boot top, fitted together so carefully and sewn so well that the boot is wholly waterproof. A woman who can make good clothing stands high indeed, for well-made clothes are vital to the Eskimo hunter. A man is the hunter his wife makes him, is an old saying in the North. The whole economy of the household depends upon the woman. The Eskimo is as helpless as a child without her.
Balik kami kasi mo kinani ugianak pa ugianak tukunaw kulituk tutam na iminista awaya payetapeg awaya pa kapay ugiak tawal kami payet kapago awaya tunggu tukutaw na ako suli kumbakam itukale kwatatible masinane mapayisa kawaya ihiyaw mo
Evelik, a Baffin Land belle, finds time to decorate her parka with beads from the trader. The patterns and work have been borrowed from the Indians, who used beads long before the Eskimos thought of adding anything but fur designs to their clothes. Walrus tusks furnish excellent ivory. For centuries, the ivory has been used for harpoon heads and other tools of the Eskimos. Holes are bored with the most primitive type of drill, which is held by a mouthpiece and turned by means of a little bow. In the carving of walrus ivory, Eskimo art reaches its highest degree of skill. Sometimes etched or painted pictures of animals and hunting scenes decorate the carvings. In the early days, the Eskimos carved only for their own needs, harpoon heads and other implements for hunting. Now they carve little animals and cribbage boards for the outside world. Old Pumiuluk has carved ivory for 50 years. The sealskin bag which holds his little bow drill is never far away. He uses his teeth as a vise or as a third hand to hold the drill. Finger weaving is an art this Eskimo girl learned from the French nuns at Chesterfield Inlet. The finger-woven band, added to the woman's parka, helps support the baby on the back. The best net maker of the whole Chesterfield region is a Killinik, the blind boy. These nets are necessary for open water fishing in the summer, but they're used in the dark winter season too. The old people prepare skins for the winter clothing. The net making goes quickly and apparently with little effort, but each knot is carefully tied and tested as the weaver skillfully uses his bone shuttle. Evilou excels in making the fish spear. Its sharp prongs catch and hold the fish firmly until the fisherman can grasp the wriggling body and toss it ashore. Caribou horn or whalebone is used for the two flexible outer arms of the spear. Bent nails are set in these prongs. Fitted onto the spear carefully, they are scraped until very smooth and then nailed securely and given extra strength by tying with strong sinew. A spear like this is used in the shallow rivers where the stone traps are built to catch the fish when they come upstream with the incoming tide. When the sun is going south in the fall, the Eskimos of the west coast of Hudson's Bay play the old game called cat's cradle, in the hope that there is enough magic in the pastime to keep the sun shining for more than the Arctic's allotted few weeks. Cat's cradle is a storytelling game, illustrated with string figures like this one, that tells the story of the caribou hunt in string as the narrator tells it in words. Each man chooses and tells his own story and gets pleasure in exercising his talent for storytelling. The somiak, or drum, is the one musical instrument common to all Eskimos. Evilou and Billy Boy, too old to hunt, prepare a drum while the young hunters are away on the walrus hunt. The drum of these Southampton Islanders is made by stretching a caribou skin over a large wooden hook. too, Eviloo's wife, prepares the skin for the drumhead. The hair of the caribou skin is carefully put aside to use later for a pillow. The hook must be just so. Eviloo puts it in the clamp to reinforce a weak spot. Eviloo, whose name means caribou sinew, is a skilled craftsman with a wonderful toolkit, which he's assembled through years of successful trapping and trading. The drumstick may be a bone or an antler or a wooden one like this. Walrus or sealskin is softened by chewing and then wrapped around the beater to mellow the tone that will soon boom over the tundra as the Eskimos dance. The handle is fitted to the drum frame and secured with nails and sinew. Each step of the process is completed with great patience and infinite care. When the skin is cleaned and softened, Tuktu brings it to the waiting men who have gathered to help Eviloo stretch the drum head onto the carefully made frame. Making a drum is a lot of work, but when the Eskimo finally puts it into action, the reward is great. The long winter storms that hold them in their igloos, the patient hours of waiting so necessary in hunting, make the Eskimos eager for any excuse to have a celebration. Occasionally, a camp will hold a drum dance night after night. Drumming, dancing, and singing refresh the spirits of the whole community. Lost in the magic of primitive rhythm, the Eskimo can forget the severity of his life. It is the time for the drum dance. The beating of the drum hits the ear. The men take turns playing the instrument. The women chant age-old songs in unison with the pulsing booming of the drum and dream of past hunting days. Kusharak puts down the drum to meet another in a wrestling match, a formal contest which lasts until one or the other has fallen to the earth. This oriental form of wrestling, a primitive jiu-jitsu, came with the Eskimos when they came from Siberia. The drum passes from man to man, and the simple dance continues. Each man has a song of his own. Rocking the drum from side to side, he beats on the frame a slow but persistent rhythm. He forgets the harshness of his land in the simple pleasures which enrich life for all men everywhere. Even in the land of perpetual snows, man sings and dances.